Ms. Stanek, we now turn to you, and we would like to hear your personal story as well. You have 5 minutes. Thank you.
And thank you, Senator Sass, for taking such a leadership role on this issue. When I heard Virginia Governor Ralph Northam, a pediatric neurologist, describe during an interview just about a year ago the process by which doctors determined to shelve unwanted newborns to die, it hit painfully close to home for me. He said, and I'm quoting, and this was in regard to a question by the interviewer on what is done with survivors of third trimester abortions. If a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. Governor Northam was right. That is exactly what happens. I know because I cared for a dying baby who was on the other side of this decision. My experience was 20 years ago, but as Governor Northam made clear, it could have happened, and it probably did happen yesterday. I was a registered nurse at Christ Hospital in Illinois when I learned to commit abortions into the second and third trimesters. The procedure, called labor induction abortion, sometimes results in babies being aborted alive. It will help to understand how babies can survive abortions by just explaining this procedure. When a mom is pregnant, her uterus is shaped kind of like a hot air balloon, and at the bottom is a cervix, an opening that's supposed to stay closed until you're about 40 weeks pregnant. For this abortion procedure, the doctor inserts a medication that forces the cervix to open early. And so the baby, in essence, just falls out of the uterus. And what we're talking about are second and third trimester babies. They're fully formed, but they're small. Some doctors will kill the babies ahead of time by injecting a medication through the mother's abdomen or potassium chloride into the baby's heart, but many doctors don't. Christ Hospital did not. In the event a baby was aborted alive, he or she received no medical assessments whatsoever, but was only given what the hospital called comfort care, made comfortable, as Governor Northam described. One night, a nursing coworker was taking a little abortion survivor to the soiled utility room to die because she didn't have time to hold him and his parents didn't want anything to do with him. And so when she told me what she was doing, I couldn't let this baby die alone, and so I cradled and rocked him for the 45 minutes that he lived. He was about the size of my hand, and if you saw the State of the Union address with a little Ellie, a 2-year-old who'd been born at 21 weeks, 6 days, the baby I held was just 2 days younger than her. I couldn't tell toward the end of his life if he was still alive unless I held him up against the light to see if I could see his heart beating through his chest wall because their skin is so thin at that age. And after he was pronounced dead, I folded his little arms across his chest, tied them together with a little string, wrapped him in a shroud, and took him to the morgue where we took all of our dead patients. Christ Hospital readily admitted that baby survived abortion. I submitted with my written testimony an article from the Chicago Sun-Times where they said between 10 and 20% lived for a short time. From what I observed, it was not uncommon for a live aborted baby to linger for an hour or two or even longer. One baby I was aware of lived almost as long as an 8-hour shift. I've been further shocked at the depths that some people will go to protect abortion. In December of 2000, Christ Hospital unveiled its comfort room. So no longer did nurses take babies to die in the soiled utility room. They now took them to the comfort room. And I submitted pictures of the comfort room that I took that I think all of you have before you at the time. This was a small, nicely decorated room, complete with a first photo machine in case parents wanted professional pictures taken of their aborted babies, baptismal supplies in case they wanted their aborted babies baptized, and a foot printer and baby bracelets in case parents wanted keepsakes of their aborted babies. And there was also a wooden rocker to rock these babies to death. That's why the word comfortable, which Governor Northam used, was particularly grating to me. How far will doctors go to comfort themselves by letting abortion survivors die? And we know they'll go pretty far. Clearly, little abortion survivors desperately need Congress to pass the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act to provide them with legal medical protections and not leave open the decision whether they live or die. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stanek. Thanks for sharing your story.